Let's play the Chopin, right? This is the waltz in E flat. And did I tell you it also is called the waltz? Uh, it's called brillante, right? So in other words, brilliant, right? It's a brilliant waltz, right? And in the grand key of E flat major.
Wow.
So we associate some keys with certain feelings, right? And everybody may be different. So some people, uh, some people think of colors, where when they think of a particular key, I don't really see it that way, right? But some people think, oh, D major, that's I don't know, pink, whatever, and then A major is blue, right? A flat major is purple. Some people associate right colors with a particular key. Like I said, I don't really that doesn't happen to me, right? I never think of a color when I think of a key, but I do think of certain words. That does happen, right, for me. Maybe just because I've heard pieces in that key, right, and that's the feeling I get. So then every time I hear another piece in that key, I get the same feeling, right? So for example, G major for me is a very warm sunshine, you know, like just something very warm. Yeah. So for me, that's how G major is. And E flat, right? Like I said, it's a very brilliant, very grand, very fancy, like going to the most fancy ball gown, like fancy ball, wearing the most fancy ball gown, right? Like all dressed up with diamonds, necklaces, doing your hair up and wearing high heels, right? Just for me, that's E flat major, right? That's I can imagine, right, being in your most gorgeous outfit, right, and attending this gorgeous ball, right? And in this most gorgeous hall, right, with chandeliers and everything is sparkling and glittering, right? So that's what E flat major does for me, right? So I know you have played it from beginning to end, right? What does it What does it make you feel? How does it make you feel?
Good, huh?
Makes you feel good? Okay. Any particular things that make you think of when you play a piece of music in this key?
Uh-huh. Oh my gosh. Huh? That was a good key.
Uh-huh. Sometimes people associate people, right? Like they know with a particular piece or a particular key, or a place they've been to, right? Or a painting they've seen, right? Or a picture, right? Or an experience they've had in their life, right? So anything, right? Even what food they've had, right? It could be, right? So all I'm trying to say is, right? Music evokes, right? Our other emotions and our other experiences. So for everybody, it's different, right? But what we kind of want to do is communicate, right? However it makes you feel, and whatever makes you feel, you want to communicate it through the play.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So last time we were working backwards, right? So we were trying to kind of like sort out the last part, starting from the scale, right? And it's right. That one, right? We were trying to kind of play that part. So we didn't go back all the way to the beginning because we ran out of time. So today we'll try to sort out some of the things in the beginning, shall we?
Woohoo.
Okay. So to begin with, we'll just, I guess, hear the piece again, right?
Woohoo. Yeah, woohoo.
Good job. Well done. Right? I really like your ending, right? And I saw you almost jumping out of the bench, right, to play that final E flat, right? It's like
Wow.
the biggest you've got, right? So Very good, right? You remember we learned that from playing, I think it was the Rachmaninoff, right? Remember you used to play the Rachmaninoff G minor prelude, right? So we had to have uh, make such a big sound that's what we talked about, using our body, right, to play, not just our fingers.
Wow.
Well, overall, this improved a lot, right, since the last time I heard it. So the last time I heard it was, I think, 2 weeks ago, right? It was still quite rough, right, because you had just learned it. So since then, you've done more work, so it's much, much more tidied up. Right? This is not an easy waltz, right? You've learned some of the easier ones that were shorter. This is a pretty long one, right? And also it's faster, so this is definitely not an easy one. It's pretty difficult. So you
Wow.
have definitely, like I said, tidied up a lot of the, you know, sort of little moments of insecurities, right? Or hesitations. So it's a lot better.
That's
In
good.
general, right? What makes this piece difficult, right? Well, there's several aspects, right? But one of them is certainly this repeated thing, right? Right? There's so many of these things, right? Right? So they're not easy to
Wow.
play, right? They're not easy to be articulated, especially when you have many of them in a row. How many is that? It's 10, right? So, and then you can finally do something, right? And then here we go again, right? There's so many of them, right? It's not easy, right?
Wow.
Actually, I do want to say, however you have set up your microphone today, it's very good, right? The sound is very, very good. So keep the setup, right? Whatever setup that is. I like it, all right? So keep it. So I noticed, right? You have very good sound today. And I noticed your fingering, of course, right? You know how I'm very big on fingering, right? I talk about fingering a lot, right? Because fingering, it's something that
Wow.
helps us to play, right? Better, faster, easier, more effortlessly. If we have a good choice, right? And the opposite is true. Bad fingering choices, right, lead to fatigue, right? You get tired, not such good sound, right? Not such good control of the sound that we want, right? And sometimes, right, if you keep using bad fingering and it's not efficient or comfortable, right, it could even lead to injury, right? Like, you develop too much tension, right? And then your finger or your hand hurts. So anyway, fingering is very important, right? So I noticed that, can you tell me, right? Maybe it was just I didn't see it clearly, right? Can you tell me what finger you use, for example, on this business, right? This main material, when we have a lot of this repeated stuff. Can you show me just the right hand of that part?
Wow. Nice. Ooh.
Just the right hand. Okay. Can you describe the fingering, right? Are you doing 3 2 3 2 3 2, or are you doing 3 3 3 3 3 3, or 2 2 2 2 2, or 3 2 1 3 2 1? What are you doing? Right?
Wow.
Okay. Can you do it very slowly so I can see? Like slowly, right? Try it again, please.
Nice.
Okay. Well, it's because I mentioned several choices to you, right? I think you're doing different than what you did earlier, right? Earlier, when you were playing the whole piece from beginning to end, like I said, right, because it's very fast, right, and the screen is not as big as if I was sitting next to you, right? So it felt like, for me, right, that you were sometimes just using the same exact number to play the repeated note, right? But because you practice and you work so hard that even though that is not my preferred fingering, right? I did hear the note, right? But it was amazing to me that I could hear the note, even though the fingering choice was not what I preferred, right? So what I'm trying to say is, in general, right? And there are exceptions. In general, these repeated notes definitely do not want to be played by the same finger. Okay, so you never want to do 2 2 2 2 or 3 3 3 3, right? See what I mean? You don't want to use the same finger, right? In this case, there are definitely several possibilities, right? So I mentioned a couple possibilities for you. An obvious one would be 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, right? 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, right? 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. So when you repeat the fingers, you just close the fingers you make them so close to each other, right? So they alternate. It's almost like you're putting all fingers on the same note. Imagine putting finger 1, 2, 3 all on E flat, and they all play, right? So that's how close they are. Now you alternate 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Right? Yes. Okay. So that should feel right easier than trying to use the same finger over and over. Now another possibility is 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. I could see some people do that. 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, right? 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, right?
Wow.
It could even be possible that some people might do 4, 3, 2, 1, right? So 4, 3, 2, 1 for the first 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 3, 2, right? That's possible. 1, 3, 2, right? 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. I can see that, right? 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, right? So try a couple of different ones to see which one you like the most, right? 4, 3, 2, 1. So you can do 4, 3, 2, 1, right? So that one, because there's only 4 of them, I would do 4, 3, 2, 1, right? So this is the 4, 3, 2, 1, right? That one I would do 4, 3, 2, 1. But when there's more than 4, right? You could stick with the 4, 3, 2, 1, right? 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. But then what are you gonna do with the last 2? Or you can do 3, 2, right? So that's possibility. For me, when there's more than 4, right? So when there's 4, I still do 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I do 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, right? 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, right? 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, right? So that's what I do. Okay. When there's 6 of them, I like 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Okay. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Yes. So think about that, right? So that's definitely something I want to talk about. Yeah. And then another area that was weaker than the rest of it was whenever you had to do this business. Right? Remember this business? Right? That little gray snow thing, right? Right? So can we work on that bit a little bit, right? So, right? I think you're in general probably a little too close to it, right? Right? We want to hear 2 notes quite clearly, right? Okay. Also, make sure it doesn't sound like, right? The first note is actually right? So the G flat, you would bounce up, right? So the G flat is not. See, it's not like that, right? So the release is softer, right? See? So the second note, you see, is softer, right? Okay, so let's play that section. Go. Right there. So what's tricky is that sometimes the note is next door, right? And sometimes it isn't, right? So that brings us to, again, the question of fingering. When it's next door, I do 2, 3, right? This one is not next door, so this one's 3, 1. 2, 3 again, 2, 3 again, 3, 1, 2, 3 again, 1, 4, right? Because that's far away. 1, 5, I guess, right? 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. So when it's next door, it's always 2 and 3, right? Backwards or forward. So if it's down, so it's 3, 2, 3, 2, and then 3, 1, 2 3 3 1 2 3. Now this one is 2 4. That's an unusual one, right? Because there's a gap. 2 4 2 3 2 3, right? And then you can do, right, 2 3 again, 3 1 2 3 2 3 3 1 3, and then that's octave 1 5, right? Now you could do 5 3 or 4 2. Let me see. I think I like 4 2. 4 2 4 2 4 2 4 2 4 2. So all of this, right? Let me see. It's up to you, right? You could do 5 3 3 2 3 1, right? Or you can do 4 2, right? For most okay, I like 4 2, and then I do actually 3 1, believe it or not, right? And then so 5 4 2 3 1 4 2 3 1 3 1, and then back to 3 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 3 2, all not 3 2. Okay. Good. So go over that, right, by itself, like we just did, to make sure that you are very, very sure, okay, which two fingers you're gonna use for each of them, right? Right? Your turn. Just the right hand. Just to go over. There was only one that I wasn't sure about. It was that one. Yes. So after you go, right? So it was right before the da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. There was a chromatic here. I don't think I heard. Okay. All right. Let's add that with the right hand. I mean with the left hand.
Wow. Nice.
That's amazing. It's incredibly difficult to play only the left hand of a waltz. Right? Because often we associate it with the harmony, right, that is implied in the right hand. So it's even very difficult sometimes when I ask people to play just the left hand by itself, right? It's almost like it's a new piece. They cannot do it, right? In your case, you're not even looking at the score, right? You're simply playing only the left hand as it should be, right? Without reference to the score, right? That's incredibly difficult to do, right? But you can do it, of course. That's amazing. Okay, so let's do it together.
Wow.
Both hands. And then this business happens again in the last part, right? Right? It's shorter, right? So, right? 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 Remember that it's a final part, right? It happens one more time, right? So, can we do that part? So, this is, let's go back to here. Are you using 2 2 2 2 2? Because I think that's what I'm seeing. We don't want to do that, right? So this one, 1 3 2 or 4 3 2 1 3, right? Because the fast ones, there's only 4 of them. 4 3 2 1 will work. 4 3 2 1 3, right? Right? 4 3 2 1 3, right? So 4 do 3 2 1 3, or you can even do 3 2 3 2 3, or you could do 3 2 1 3 3 2 1 3 2. I don't know. Anyway, 4 3 2 1 is my favorite.
There it goes.
3 2 1 3, right? For this one, but definitely not 2 2 2 2 2. Okay.
Wow.
So try 4.
Wow.
Too many notes. Left hand only has 3 notes there. Right? 3 of them. You did F as well. There's no F.
Wow.
Octave. Right? Make sure you do the octave first. Right? So, sorry. So. Let's say the left hand too loud, right? Because it's pretty repetitive. It's more than an octave, right? Chopin is octave guy. So for Chopin to go over an octave, that's unusual. In other words, extremely special, right? So because it's so special, see what I mean? I kind of wait a little bit after I have found it, right? It's like, wow, that's more than an octave. Can you believe it, right? And then you can continue. Show me that one. Good job, right? And you're right. The chord change, right? Right? So that was fine. Okay, so we sorted those things out, okay? And since we're talking about just this section, I noticed that you didn't do the rest long enough. What rest? Right? And then, right? So you have a big. Now after that chord, right? I'll do it again, right? And then it's a ridiculous amount of rest. Yep, and you gotta wait. No, not long enough, right? So how long is it exactly in the score? Let's find it, right? I'll tell you. 1, 2, 3. So that's that measure. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you have rest for the rest of that measure. So this is 1, and then 2, 3 is rest, and then you have a whole entire measure of rest. So he wrote number 1, right, for that entire measure, meaning you have one whole measure of rest. So that's 3 more beats, right? So you got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you still have 1, 2. Then you can play that, right? Right? And then you got another 1, 2, 3. You got another whole measure of silence. So that's very unusual, right? The piece has been very upbeat, right? It's almost go, 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 go the whole entire time. But now you have all these silences. That is highly unusual. So therefore, you have to make the most of them. So, right? Right? I can't get that chord nicer. Rest, rest. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Now you can play. Right? 1, 2, 3. And then you should be extremely quiet. So use the saw pedal. It's almost like coming from a distance. So you thought the whole thing has disappeared, right, for good, but then it's coming back, right? But just barely. You almost can't hear it, right? 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 And then it becomes more kind of obvious, like it's coming back, right? More and more and more.
Wow.
Can we do that section?
Nice.
understand me, okay?
Wow.
You understand me? The silence was perfect for that second one. The first one seems a little bit odd still, right? Rest, breathe, and then you can be slow when you return. Wait some more. Now, don't change pedal after you play this note. Stay there. You don't have to change pedal. You can use the soft pedal, but you don't need to change your right foot. Your right foot can stay there the whole time, right? You can stay there the whole time. You can stay the whole time until here, right? Then the right foot goes away.
Wow.
Okay? One more time, please.
Nice. Woo. That's it.
We didn't get that chord. Right? So I was doing 5 3 2. Maybe I should change because when I do 5 3 2 1, I sometimes miss. Right? Yeah, it's a little bit big for me, right? But not so big for you because your hand is bigger than mine. So maybe 5 3 2 1 will work for you. Right? It seems like it's not working for me as well. But if I practice this, or an alternative would be 5 2 1 crossover to 2, right? That's a possibility, right? That's a big dominance. You don't want to miss it for sure, okay? Don't change pedal, right? So, see, we have E flat, right, in the chord. Alright, and then yeah. Softer, softer. Softer. Very soft. Make sure you let go of the pedal right away. So this was all pedal, and then it's very dry there, right? So we don't want anything sticky there anymore. Good. Did you go down to the bottom though? So, right. You have to go back to the E flat, right? Right. I didn't hear that bottom E flat. There was another bottom E flat as well, right? So octave E flat, right? Octave E flat again, right? Do you see it? I didn't hear that bottom octave, right?
Wow.
And first, the E flat was a single note, right? So after you do bum bum, remember that the E flat was single note, right? So it's all been single E flat, but starting from here, starting from the C flat note, the octave is the E flat is octave. So you have two notes in the left hand, octave E flat, right? Octave E flat, octave E flat, right? And then, right? And then everybody octave E flat there, right? Everybody octave E flat there. Everybody octave E flat there, right? Left hand octave. Okay?
Ready? Wow.
to da 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 da. Then goes back to da 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 da. Remember? And then all of this, it's not bad, but do not make it sound like a whole bunch of phrases. Right? Wait, wait, wait. Right? We don't want to be waiting after every sentence. So what I do is I aim for the next note, right? So it's easy to play this group. But it's finding this next note that's a little awkward. Now technically, there's big legato, right? I don't worry about it, right? I don't try to turn my fourth finger over just so I could be legato because I know I'm pedaling this, right? So because it's double forte, right? So I almost just get out of this note and land down. Because when you turn, it's awkward, right? And then you are a little late because you're trying to make sure you don't turn the wrong note. So I don't turn, right? All I do is I come up and I land down new note. Come up, land down new note, up, land. Do you hear it? Right? Yeah, let's use the pedal to come back better, right? So you can use pedal. Okay, now this does it not really want to sound like? No, it doesn't want to sound like that, right? So it's not play as fast as you can and then wait for a second and then go play that. No, they are the same group. So, right? So if you want to play these four notes fast, you better include that final note. See? Right? So it's not easy, right? You cannot go separating them into this little thing and then single note. Right? So maybe you don't want to go too fast in the beginning, right? Right? So and it's actually, I mean, there is actually a rondo, right? So the first two you could be, or the first three, right? You can try to kind of get faster, but again, if you're already too fast to begin with, you can't really get any more faster, right? So, right? But then after that, right? There's a little smorzando. Smorzando means die away, right? So the last couple should have a feeling of dying away, right? But I never separated them into, this chromatic business followed by a single note, right? It should never sound like that. Treat the pinky as part of the chromatic. Something like that, right? But it's very tempting to do those four notes fast because it's easy. They're next to each other, right? It's easy to play that fast. But we just want to kind of be careful, right? That we don't do that too fast. Because if we do this part too fast, again, our pinky is late. And we don't want that. All right, so repeated note, that's something to think about. Grace notes, right? All these, right? Grace notes. Dealing with the silence, right? Yeah, okay. What else is important in this piece? Well, it's actually just because of the fact that it's a pretty brilliant, pretty fast waltz, right? We don't really hear too much rubato in the beginning, right? However, when you do repeat, you should think about it, right? So first time, usually we just are more straightforward, right? That's kind of usually how we do something. So the very first time we play something, it's just more matter of fact. It's like we are just spelling out the material, right? Just let the music talk. It's already beautiful, it's already interesting, everything's fresh, so you don't need to do too much. But then you repeat, right? So the second time, that's usually when we have a little more rubato, right? Just so we can have a little more interpretation involved. For example, right? First time, see? I'm sorry, second time, right? First time I wouldn't do that, right? So my point is, first time will be, right? Just go, right? But then when I do the second time, right? I might do a little something there, right? And then maybe even there, right? Maybe, right? See my point, right? So the second time I would just not be so strict, right, with the actual words. I would take a little time, right, here or there. Okay, do you want to try that?
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you find this note. Right. So this A flat, I don't think I heard. Still, right, even if we do a little bit of something here or there, it's still quite minimal, right? There's not a lot of rubato. Until when? Until this section, right? Right, this section definitely, right, has more rubato for sure, right? Definitely, right? I mean, definitely more, right?
Wow.
Show me that section. Can we play this chord, right? Because again, it's a very interesting harmony. Okay, all right. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but this section I had a lot more pedal too, right? See, it's almost continuous, right? So I pedal until I have to change again, right? I pedal until it is time to change. Right? And then, of course, that's wake up moment, right? And then better be very, very on time. So because we have some rubato, yes, the next part is very strict, right? 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 It's very strict. Okay, for this next part. And then, of course, you can have a little bit of something, right? It's like just kidding, and then off we go again. Very strict, right? And then just kidding again. See, take your time, just linger, right? section that we just worked on should feel like the most expressive part of the piece.
Wow.
It should feel like the most lyrical, right? The part that has the most rubato, okay?
Wow.
And also the part that has the most pedal, even, right? The most legato pedal. The beginning actually has very dry pedaling, right? Because we kind of want to spell out those repeated notes, don't we? Right? Right? So we can go, right? We sort of want to hear the staccato, right? So even though we are pedaling, we let go. Pedaling, let go, pedal, let go, pedal, let go, pedal, let go, and then what I do is I actually pedal the first note, right? But then I go away. So I don't continue. Right? I think that's too much pedal. Pedal, pedal, pedal. So pedal, but then go away. Pedal, and then go away. Pedal, and then go away. Right? So I'm just enhancing. Do you hear it? Just the single note. Just the single bass note. Just to give it a little bit more warmth. But it certainly is not. See, it certainly isn't all the way until here, all the way until here. Definitely not, right? Right? It's definitely more on the sparse side, right? Of those repeated notes. That's definitely not easy, right? Okay, so which section? Okay, we haven't gone over this section, so this section should feel kind of and this is something Chopin does a lot. It's like conversation between man and woman, right? So this is the loud part, right? The loud and obnoxious, and then now gentle. This is the lady, right? So yep, the lady goes. There's no need to yell, right? Well, maybe not yelling, right? So maybe that's not. But contrast is what I mean, right? Maybe the knight and the lady, right? Let's think of two very different characters, the knight and the lady. Very brave, going into battle, confident, right? And then the lady is very graceful, right? So complete contrast. So right, very matter of fact, right? No nonsense. And the lady is a little bit more laid back, not so serious, right? And then right. Contrast, right? So it's two complete different characters. We were talking about, right? That it's actually quite hard. Right? To play everything right? Don't rush it. Right? And I also go back to pedaling only the first note. Pedal off, pedal off, pedal off, pedal off. Yep. We gotta fix that, right? Because that happened earlier, right? There's no F there, see? It's E and G flat, right? It's very tempting to go F, right? Why? Because the first time it was F. See, that was F. That's F, right? I mean is, it's very tempting to play F again, but it's E.
Wow.
Right? That's E.
Wow.
And then, right? That's the big octave there, right? And then back, right? To the knight, and then the lady. And the knight again, right? The knight in shining armor, and then the lady. Okay?
Nice. Wow.
Thank you for fixing it. Good. And then we get to play the expressive section again, right? So your turn. Continue. So
Wow.
this is the one that has so much pedal, remember? And also more rubato. Right? So so beautiful there. It's like a surprise, right? Because it was almost like winding down into nothing, right? See? This is my favorite part. Now, that G going to A flat is also rather interesting, right?
Wow.
I can do that better. I'll do it again. And frame return. Right? Okay?
Wow. Isn't that fun to do, right? So again, this is a very good example of how Chopin repeats himself, but he embellishes, right? So first time, you just have a very plain melody. Eighth note. Everything is eighth note. Right? Now here's a decoration. But everything is still eighth note. You have a triple here. Now he repeats himself. But there's a decoration. Right? First time there wasn't, right? First time just goes to F. Now there's a grace note. First time, eighth note. This time, there's an ornament, right? Now first time was, sorry. This time, right? flat is just so gorgeous, right? First time was this time. Now make sure you do the triplet here. Right? It's not a fast one. It's da, 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 da. Now don't do this too fast, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We still want to keep our 1, 2, 3 going, right? We don't want to distort the main beat. Okay? Ba-ba-bum, 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 ba-ba-bum. Okay? Alright. Kodi, well done. Okay? So keep playing this, right? And what else?
That was
I
good.
thinking of that you should learn. How about learn, right? I'm trying to find a number for you. Let me see.
Oh my gosh.
Have a listen. So that will be your new assignment, right?
Good.
So you already can play this. So
Wow.
the next piece that I do not believe you have played.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good.
it's called you've played the fantasy impromptu. Remember?
Wow. Oh
The
my
one that
gosh.
goes like. Da, 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 da. You've done that one, right? So this one is just called impromptu, right? It's not fantasy impromptu. It's just impromptu. Okay?
Impromptu.
Impromptu number 1 in A flat major, opus 29.
Wow.
Okay, so that's your listening assignment.
Ooh,
Okay,
that's
impromptu, first impromptu, A flat major, opus 29.
Opus 29.
Okay,
Woohoo.
all right, see you next time.
Woohoo.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.